quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Right! You take that diaper off your head. You put it back onto your sister.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
Okay, now you're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
Hey, welcome to Comedy Parenting. This is your host, Jerry Begley. In the studio, I have Caleb with me, and today's topic is going to be hitting pine trees while skiing. So stay tuned. Comedy Parenting coming right up.
Treesock Press sells the books that stay on your shelves. When you want books that your guests pick up and read and can't put down, make sure it's one of Treesock Press's comedy books. Get a copy of her new book, Dad, the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come, and your kids will want you to read it over and over and over until you pull what little hair you have left out. When you put your books out into the gutter, you'll feel complete guilt if it's a Treesock Press book. Get your Treesock Press book wherever lousy comedy books are sold. Treesock. It stays on your shelf.
Look at you. You're spiffier than a petunia and a patch of chiggerweed.
Hey, welcome back to Comedy Parenting. My name's Jerry Begley. I'm your host, and in the studio we have Caleb with us. Today's topic is hitting pine trees while skiing. Caleb, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jerry.
Have you ever seen anybody hit a pine tree while skiing?
I have, first person.
You saw the first person that ever hit a pine tree?
I saw it in the first person.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about the pine tree and the skier. First, tell me about the skier. What kind of skier? Was this a beginner?
No, this person was an advanced skier. He was actually up on Highland. He had just finished skiing.
What's Highland?
Highland ski area.
Where's that located?
It's located in Aspen area.
Okay, so a famous Aspen ski area, Aspen Highlands, and they did what?
Well, this was just down below the bowl. So the bowl on Highlands is big treeless area, kind of like a bowl.
What's that rated, by the way?
I don't know. Double black diamond extreme, I think, is what it's rated on several
double
parts.
Black diamond with some extreme portions to there. And what's going on here?
So this person that I was with decided he saw a pine tree down below, and there's enough of a bump above it. He figured he could jump over to the top of the pine tree.
So this guy's lining up to jump over the top of a pine tree. What happens?
The first time he did it twice. First time he did it, he jumped over the pine tree and kind of hit the tree as he went by, and he was off balance, and he ended up landing it. You know, the next time.
Wait, how did he hit the tree? Was he straddling the tree?
Hit the tree. Yeah, he was trying to straddle it because he was a little low for the jump.
Okay,
he was a little bit low. He didn't get enough speed.
I'm picturing this right now. How far did he go when he jumped?
Oh, it was probably a good 60-foot jump. It's probably a good 60-foot jump coming off of there. Quite a bit of vertical drop, too.
He cleared the tree.
Yeah.
And he landed.
Yep.
Okay, then what happened?
So we went up. Of course, we had to try it again. And this time we tried to get it on film. He got a significant amount of speed, and this time he actually cleared the tree completely. And he cleared the landing, and he cleared quite a bit of the landing below the landing, and he ended up crashing. Not too bad on the on the downhill side of it.
Was this ice or rocks or powder? Or what was
Oh,
it?
no, it was about 4 feet of powder.
Oh, 4 feet of powder. You can get that in the Aspen area sometimes, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
The winter snowflakes sting my face as I head up on the lifts. Cliff jump and double diamonds are one of my gifts. I thank the Lord above for giving this powder to me. Fluffy, soft, and pure delicious. That's why I love to ski. I'm a Colorado homegrown Rocky Mountain cowgirl.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, Something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cool time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
I'm a Colorado homegrown, Rocky Mountain cowgirl, and will be till the end. Riding free up in the mountains, far from fences to men. Then I come back done, 'cause I know.
Have you ever heard of anybody else hitting a tree?
Sure, I've hit trees before.
Tell me about that.
Well, this was up on Snowmass. There are the trees up on High Alpine, or very narrow trees, and you can get on these different tracks in the trees where there are no trees, but they're very narrow, and you can't really turn.
Wait, there are no trees, but you can't turn. Wait, there are no trees?
There are no trees right down the middle of all these trees. And there's a little chute,
Okay.
usually a riverbed type thing.
So you're kind of weaving your way between the trees.
Sure.
On skis.
Yep. And in this case, there was a tree. I was going down this riverbed, and there was a log that was straight across the path of the riverbed.
I hate those logs straight across the riverbeds, yeah.
So I tried to kind of jump up in the air a little bit to bounce off of it and keep going. And I did, but when my skis hit the tree, they stopped. I did a nice little somersault down the hill.
So you were trying to jump in the air and bounce off of this log that was across the riverbed, and your skis stopped.
Yeah. As they will do when you meet a nice dry tree.
Very nice. Well, you're listening to Comedy Parenting, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Sure, humans can be a little weird at times, but take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Okay, we're back, and the topic is hitting trees while skiing, and we have Caleb in the studio here with us today.
Well, I don't know if this actually qualifies as hitting a tree, but I've had some interesting skiing occasions where you'll be going down. Frog Pond Glades is a good example of this. Frog Pond Glades up on Snowmass, very deep snow, lots and lots of trees, tight. And occasionally you will go skiing near a tree, and there's a tree well next to it, and you'll fall down in the tree well.
Oh, those crazy tree wells. Yeah, they suck people down in, don't they?
Yep.
I saw a tree well one time that was 11 feet deep. That means that from the top of the snow where you're standing to the bottom of this black hole-shaped object was 11-foot drop all the way to the bottom. And I saw a skier fall down and slide headfirst toward the tree. I kicked my skis off and slid down into the hole. I slid down in there feet first and stood on the branches of the tree and shoved the person back up out of there so they wouldn't be hanging upside down underneath a pine tree in this nasty little tree well thing, too. Cool. Comedy Parenting Radio. We'll be back in just a second here.
This moment of uncontrollable laughter was made possible by a 32-year-old man with little to no coordination attempting to execute a simple cartwheel. His name is Sergeant Warner, but young James, our laughing friend here, simply calls him Dad. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Ranger Station.
Hi, I want to report a bear sighting.
Location.
My front door. It was Smokey Bear. My husband was burning leaves in the yard. He just came inside for a second.
Never leave a fire unattended. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
Smokey said that too.
We go way back. I knew him when he was just a cub.
How cute.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Tell us a little bit more about hitting trees or skiing, Caleb.
I was skiing with a guy up on Aspen Mountain, Ajax, in Aspen. And up there are a lot of mine shafts, things like that. So in this case...
You mean like holes from the mining days?
Yeah. No, people will have small little mining plots up there. And these little mine shaft holes or whatever...
Are they active? Are people mining up there right now while you ski?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
There could be. Anyway, this is a tree avoidance story. There's a particular place on Ajax where if you're skiing down, you can try to avoid a tree, and by doing so, you end up going into a mine shaft, basically. So, in this case, there was a big hole in the ground covered over with snow, and the person I was skiing with skied right by, and the back of his skis sunk in, and he started to fall backwards into this nice hole in the ground. Having successfully
just
avoided
a little
the
bit
tree.
creepy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
is it like he's getting sucked into the earth or something?
Pretty much, yeah. And the thing
What
is,
did
you
you
don't know
do?
how deep these things are.
Well, what did you do?
We just got him, drug him out. Thankfully, the one that he was in, it was kind of sloped down in. It wasn't a vertical shaft. It was a kind of sloped down in under this little hill area.
I had a roommate years ago back in Aspen who was a ski patrolman, and he talked about skiing through tight trees. And his one piece of advice was to me, Jerry, when you ski through the tight trees, you always will be able to turn. You will always be able to turn before you hit a tree. It'll always happen. And so I used to remember that as I would ski through the trees. And one time I was skiing through the trees up in the Aspen area, and it got worse and tighter and tighter and tighter. And it literally got to the point where there was no place to turn and go through at all whatsoever. And I jumped up in the air. I threw my skis sideways in the air, about maybe 3 feet high above the snow. Literally threw my skis sideways, pointed them off to the right-hand side, and hit the tree with my feet and fell down in the snow and thought, I didn't hit it with my face. So there's that possibility. You always will turn and not hit a tree.
It would not be a complete show on trees and tree avoidance and trees not avoidance if we didn't talk about the Bloody Stump Creek Bed.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring up Bloody Stump Creek Bed.
I don't know. Should we get some history on the name first?
Well, I'll let you do that for
I don't know the history.
legal purposes.
You'll have to give the history, or we'll just say that it's called Bloody Stump.
There's a spot that's marginally in bounds at Buttermilk Ski Area. It's only marginally in bounds because no one never thought to actually ski there before, but leave it to the kids' ski school instructors there at Buttermilk Ski Area in Aspen to take not only themselves but their classes through a creek bed, and it became known as Bloody Stump Creek Bed. And if you skied down through there, you could actually go into the creek bed, not just alongside of it. There's a ravine, if you will. And there were trees which had fallen down and were laying horizontally across this. And the instructors would take the kids, and you would have to lay on the back of your skis. Isn't that correct?
Yep.
You would have to lay on the back of your skis and slide down this ravine, trying not to smack into these trees that are laying across the ravine. So it's sort of like picture doing limbo on skis with about 4 feet of powder. Wouldn't that be accurate?
That's pretty accurate, yeah. It was steep enough, but you'd have to kind of struggle and swim around a little bit, too, to get under it if there was enough snow.
And if there were any obese children in the class, what would happen?
They get stuck.
So you have these fat little kids stuck under a tree in a ravine. Not a good prospect unless you're looking for giggles in class, huh?
Yeah.
All right. We've had Caleb here in the studio. The topic is hitting trees on skis. Thanks for tuning in to Comedy Parenting Radio with your host, Jerry Begley. Come on back, visit us again. And until next time, Caleb, stay away from the trees.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Most men your age high are getting married and raising up a family.
Well, factually,
They wouldn't accept prison as a substitute. Would any of you men care to comment?
Well, sometimes your career's got to come before family.